I allowed some people in my company to falsify information because I thought I had enough money to be able to cover all this stuff if something didn't go right. And when things went wrong, how many of y'all know it goes wrong? I ended up losing everything. I got sentenced to 17 years, did 4.5 years in prison. I came home in 2014 with nothing. I lost my family. I lost my covenant with God. They had to move back to Louisiana and start living a life that I had taught them different about. I had humiliated my opportunity to be the leader that I was. And all I did, guys, was turn my head the other way and not take care of the responsibility of what was in front of me. But God had a plan for me. He wanted me to learn a valuable lesson because he had more than millions inside of me. I had $15 million and $60 million worth of real estate. Now all of a sudden, all that's gone. He taught me in a real sudden way that you make one wrong move and take your eyes off me, son, because I gave you all this, I'll take it from you. I get emotional thinking about it. I had to lose everything to gain everything. And now I stand before you, back in the millions. I got a beautiful wife that loves me. All my kids alive. I got grandchildren that love and admire me. And I got an opportunity to speak my truth to my people. And if he can do it for me, he can do it for you. No excuses. You choose the early because no matter where you are in your life, no matter what your personality is, I'm gonna help you come out and represent that individual to your highest and your truest expression of yourself. So I believe that, there's only one you, there's only one me. So we have to find a way to display those things that we want to display in this world. And you have something to offer that nobody else can offer. So I think that sometimes having someone that can encourage you in those areas and also give you direction based on their experiences, just to be 100% honest about those things with you and also give you direction without holding back, I think is a big opportunity for you to be able to express being along with a team that's going to help you get where you want to be. I think choosing Demetrius early and experiencing the DLD experience, it has a representation of resilience. A lot of people are not transparent about the things they go through because everybody want to give you the perception that they're all good. The reality is we're all messed up people striving to become better. And so because we always are in that place of striving to become better, I think it's a beautiful thing when you can be authentic and be honest and be 100% you. Man, being me is like right now, like just walking in my beautiful home. My wife and I, we worked real hard to get to this point. I don't take it for granted, man, just being grateful for where you are right now and also being humble enough to learn more about how you can get to where you want to be. So I think that just being you just means just being honest, having integrity and being able to respect and honor what God has given you and the people that He's sending your path to help share it with you. Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing this wonderful evening? Hey, this is yours truly, Demetrius Early. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Dear Early Experience virtual show. Man, I am so excited. I have some wonderful guests going to be joining me this evening. And I just want to say thank you to all of you guys for your support. For those of you who share the show, hey, please, if you will, take time out and go ahead. I'm telling you, in for a wonderful treat. Hey, we're at the beginning of the year. We're at the end of the first month. But guess what? We got a treat for you guys going into the second month. Please comment, like, share, and tag. We are excited. My name is Demetrius Early. I have what you call the spirit of entrepreneurship. I love the American system and how it operates and how it structures us the ability to be able to take advantage of being in the world of business. I just love the way we operate. And so tonight, we're going to take it a step further and talk more about not just how we operate in the United States and in America, but we're going to take it to a global approach. But those of us who have the platform to be able to do business in one of the greatest countries in the world, it's so many things that are going on in the world today that we don't know about. And we want to bring some light on, shed some light on some of the opportunities that you can add to what you're already doing, because most of us are successful already. We know we're doing what we're supposed to do. We're doing everything we're supposed to do. We're excited about what we're doing. We're passionate about what we're doing. We love what we do. But we want to make sure we drive home just some of the information that a lot of us don't talk about or hear about all the time. So on a DRL experience, we want to talk about topics that can expand your territory and give you the ability to be able to be the best version of yourself. And whatever it is that you're doing and what you're contributing to the world, we want to help you experience and become the best version and the highest true expression of yourself. So that's one of my goals here with the DRL experience. I am a serial entrepreneur. I'm a real estate investor. I'm also an investor of many other opportunities as well. And I have some wonderful guys that I've been, working with over the last 20 years. And they have been so gracious to be able to grace our stage and come on board. And if you will, please follow me. Follow me on my Facebook page, Instagram page, Twitter page, YouTube page, TikTok, LinkedIn, and our website is drlexperience.com. Hey, listen, if you're looking for the opportunity to understand some of the things that we're doing, one thing I do very well, I am what you call the coach. I'm the tough guy, though. I'm the one that's going to give it to you straight and take out all the fluff and help you and push you to be a better version of you. And why I do that for you, it's in some kind of weird way. What I love about what I do is it helps me become a better person as well. So I thank you guys again for giving us the opportunity to be able to give you some of the entrepreneur spirit that we have in place for you and give you some information to help you become better. I'm also a public speaker. If you need someone to motivate you and give you the example of what drive looks like, I've been down, I've been up, I've been everything in between. And God has always blessed me to be able to rise up and become successful. And I want to share that with as many people as possible and help as many people as possible. So, hey, if you want to book me, please, hey, go to my website and book me. I'll come and speak and give you guys the best version of me and help you guys get to that next level. I'm your next level guy. Also, if you want to get in contact with us, hit us up at info@drlexperience.com. Or also, you can call us at 1-888-276-7696. And guess what else, America? Hey, I'm also a radio talk show. But listen, the best version of a radio talk show is my beautiful and lovely wife, Katrina Early. I love you, honey. We have a radio talk show. We have a nonprofit organization called Make the Moment Empowerment, where we give and serve our community. And so we have a radio talk show that comes on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday mornings. Every Sunday morning, we've been doing it about 8 years now, and we are #1 in our community. So we're excited about sharing with you guys some real topics about family, about love, about God, about the perfect balance on how we can experience the perfect balance and not just have success, but we also want to be able to enjoy our success, right? So, hey, I'm also a co-author with Brian Tracy, one of my favorite mentors. And so I'm a co-author in a book called Driven. Driven is a story. It gives you a little blueprint about how I failed, came back up, and how God blessed me to get to that next level. So I want to share those things with you. So look, please go on my website and you can purchase this book. We're on the bestsellers list. We're doing phenomenal things, and we're excited about helping you guys get there as well. So, hey, without further ado, enough about me. Listen, hey, Alfred, how you doing? Hey, if you out there right now, what's up, Mr. Alfred Leopold? How you doing, sir? Listen, if you out there right now, hey, send us a shot. Let us know where you're from. Let us know who you are. Type in the chat, and we're excited to be able to, hey, this is our show. So we want to talk about some of the things that you're doing and communicate and have an interaction with each other. Hey, Katrina, I love you too, baby. So listen, we're excited, man. So hey, I'm just going to jump right into it. If you're out there right now, like I said, like, comment, share, tag. Listen, and we're going to go right into our next and our wonderful, man, listen, I'm so excited about this gentleman. He has been a true blessing to me and has educated me on some things that I just really and truly, when I first heard him tell me about what he does, it was amazing. What's up, Sean, boss man, Boston? How you doing, sir? Man, we excited, man, because this gentleman, man, he really opened my eyes to a part of the world that I had no clue about. And to be honest with you guys, I was pretty lazy about learning more about what was going on outside of my country because I was just so in tune with just building what I was building here in America. But how many of you guys know that it's worth learning as much as you can? And if you want to get to another level, being able to go global,
is something that is really major, because you can expand and do way more than what you can do just here alone. You can do it more globally. So you have something to offer the world that nobody else can offer. It's only one me, it's only one you, baby. So hey, listen, I want to bring on a gentleman. He's a West Point graduate. He is also the owner of a proud company, Trade for You, and he's a phenomenal individual who I can say that's been a true friend. He's been there for me over the last 20 years, man. Whenever I needed him, he's always shown up. And I just want to get the opportunity, baby, to share the world with someone that, I mean, he just brings a plethora of great information, and also can advance you and help you get your not just your money, but help you get your passive income portfolio put together. It is so important that we create passive income, especially in this day and time now, where the economy is just man, it's just really tough right now. We don't realize it, but man, we're going into a tight spot right now in the recession. A lot of us don't know how to capitalize off the industry when we're going in a downturn. So this gentleman right here has been teaching me how to position myself to do so I can secure my financial future for my family. And so I want to bring in none other than my great friend and awesome individual who's been trading for like 14 years. His name is Kevin Jefferson. How you doing, brother?
I'm great, Demetrius. How you doing, sir? Thank you for having me on.
Fantastic, man. Thanks so much for coming on board, man, and just join us tonight and share the information that we need, man, to really take our audience to a whole nother level. And so could you please tell from your perspective a little bit about who you are and where you're from and what you do?
Yeah, so Demetrius, thanks for that introduction. I really you. I'm Kevin Jefferson, father of Forex Fam and followmytrades.com, which is an educational platform where we teach people how to use the currency markets to create cash flow for themselves. And then we have some other verticals where we actually have what's called DFY or done for you trading, where we help business owners and entrepreneurs help scale their cash flow. And I'm out of Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff to be specific. So that's my hood, and it's all good. I'm grateful to be here.
What's up, man? So listen, I know that when I first encountered you was my financial advisor. You helped me take my portfolio to a whole nother level back in the early 2000s. And I'll never forget, in 2008, you told me, hey, you're going to have to find you another advisor, because I'm going to hang my financial advisor hat up and I'm going into trading. Could you tell me a little bit about why would a person at the top of his game be managing portfolios that was large as some really good portfolios? Why would you take when you're at the top of your game in one industry, and why would you go to a new platform and like trading? Like, explain that to us. Why would you do that?
That's a great question. A little bit about my journey. I've been in finance a little over 20 years, and I got into the business at a really curious time, right after September 11, 2001. In that time frame, I was becoming an advisor with a major firm with Merrill Lynch. And so I think the time in which I came into the industry really shaped how I saw things, and ultimately what allowed me to be successful was realizing that the goal was to always continue to create and realize value for your client. And so at a certain point, I had gone independent and started my own company, was advising people like yourself and a lot of other individuals and businesses. What I realized was what I really wanted outside of the knowledge was really to have a have the equivalent of a technical trade. And so I stumbled upon Forex, and it intrigued, and to the point to where I saw the power of it, and I saw the power of the numbers, and so I kind of on that. And one of the things about any business is you can be making a lot of capital, you can make a lot of cash flow, you can be doing really well comparatively speaking, but to me the goal should always be to maximize how you leverage your time. And so advisory business it gets to a point to where its own, it's self-sustaining. It can be on a level of cruise control, but you're always really at the call of your clients. And when we need you, or they're calling on you, they don't want to talk to your assistants, they want to talk to you. And actually specifically, to be candid, I was on a vacation out in Vegas, because Vegas is where I go to be financially irresponsible. So I go there 2 or 3 times a year just to kind of let my hair down. And I had a client who had a real estate transaction that they were trying to complete. And we were waiting for a wire to go through. And this is, like you say, this has been, decade and a half ago. And so, wires now are like within minutes. They take an hour, pin on the bank. And I remember being in Vegas, getting, with my vacation and spending the first part of my vacation, the first day or so, chasing down, making sure that this wire went, which you don't mind doing that. That's why you're in the business you're in, but you realize that ultimately, your time is not your own when you're in that particular business. So when I found foreign currency trading, the market, I wasn't successful right away, but I did see the power of it. And so it was definitely one of the things that would allow me to not check the blocks of having an actual skill set, something that no matter the market was, no matter what was happening in an economy, I had something that could actually that I could produce income from no matter what was going on. And that's very powerful. And so the fact that I could actually create the level of that I was creating as an advisor, but without the headache of of people and employees and all of the things that come along with being an advisor and regulations and stuff. When that opportunity to me took it because it was fulfilling a lot of things that I wanted, which was money and time freedom. So it kind of worked out in my favor.
So listen, so tell me a little bit about Kevin. What is a business credit and cash flow creation club? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So the Business Credit and Cash Flow Creation Club is essentially a hybrid of basically steps. So as an advisory, I had a lot of business owner clients, and even as an instructor, as a teacher, a Forex teacher, I've had a lot of business owners and entrepreneurs who've come through my course and through my boot camps as they were looking for a way to actually increase their cash flow and leverage their time. And a lot. They had closely held businesses, so they may have been successful, may have been profitable, but I know that a lot of them were looking for a way to really get more financial oxygen. And so when I talk about the business credit and cash flow creation club, it's a hybrid between where a lot of owners are always in need of resources. So to have a credit profile, what we call a level of bankability that allows you to go out and access, higher quality loans or higher quality lines of credit or higher quality debt, that gives you the room and the rope to actually expand your enterprise. But to couple with that, what you need is also the cash flow, because as you're getting access to capital and access to credit, even though there's that they run to make sure that you can afford that, you business owners, you don't really have many opportunities to make a mistake, because if you're not revenue standpoint creating the type of income that can satisfy those new obligations, then you'll find yourself right back where you started or worse. And so the cash flow component of the Business Credit and Cash Flow Creation Club is, while a person is having their credit from a business perspective put in place and architected to the place where they want it to be, we're concurrently setting them up either at the beginning or after they've completed the process and actually have access to resources or to greater resources. We're plugging them into the Cash Flow Creation Club. We're taking relationship that we have and actually scaling cash flow on their behalf. So now they get ability to build cash flow while they're building credit, and so they can satisfy their credit obligations when they arise, but also it gives them more room to expand their business enterprise along the way. So it's really a hybrid of that I believe the business owners need the most. So right there, I see the slide you have up there. So this speaks to how the club works as it relates to us. And so people come, they join, the initiation fee of $15,000. What that does is allows them access to a relationship that we have, where we're partners. Where a lot of our clients historically have had their own resources, their own capital that they would put into their trading account, and we would help grow it for them. They would keep 100% of that, which obviously, but in exchange for that, the principle of wealth creation that I love the most is the ability to leverage what I call another person's principle or another party's principle, OPP, right? And so if you can leverage other people's resources to build wealth, you put yourself on the track to obtain what you want faster, but you're also lowering your risk profile at the same time. And so we have a relationship that when people join our Cash Flow Creation Club, Business Credit and Cash Flow Club, once they they're put through the system, they receive access to 200,000 traders and trading power, and then our company will work with them in trade and business flow so they can receive a regular stream of income. And the only thing in exchange for that, for them not having to put up their own capital, is that they have to cut off a slice for the company to the tune of 20%. Not our company, but the company that's actually putting forth the capital for them to trade, for us to trade together and build cash flow. So it's really powerful because it lowers the risk profile for business owners, which is important. It gives them orders of magnitude of access to capital that they normally wouldn't have, and the building power of that. Not many business owners that I know, or who are in a small business space, they may be cash flowing $200,000 or more per year, which is kind of our target and our niche audience. But a lot of times in that space, they're in what we call financial. And so they're making enough money as a business owner or an entrepreneur to be able to handle their obligations and maybe to even breathing room, but they're maybe not in the financial position to actually scale up their business or go out and make capital expenditures or to actually large sums of their cash flow on the sideline, even though the money would be liquid if they were, if they had to put their own capital up. They're not really comfortable with saying, well, I need to commit $100 in the effort to growing that by 70 or 80% a year. And so although that's a reasonable outcome, business owners are scared, skittish because, they like to have control. And so if you can give them the same result, $70,000 to $80,000 passive recurring cash flow, but not for actually have to put their capital in a stable and feel as if they have to keep it in a certain space, then that really kind of makes it easy for everybody to win. And it gives them the peace of mind of knowing that they can still get what they're looking for, but not have to worry about losing what they've already worked hard for.
So what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a few moments and get this commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
Good day. Everything still a go for the night? Come on. Man, my truck just stopped again. Yeah, I know I need a new one. I tried, man. My credit is horrible. Well, I'm headed to the bus stop.
We are here to improve your credit so that you can get the things you need and want in life.
I need help with my credit. It's been one of those weeks. Wish me luck on my ride to work.
Our team at We Raise Credit can help you get the car you need. We Raise Credit.
Hey, and we're back. Hey, if you will, please comment, like, share, tag. And listen, we're going to add one more individual to this platform so we can have a little more broader perspective and be able to have a discussion about this very important information. So I'm going to bring back on none other than Kevin Jefferson, and we're going to add to the platform. He's no stranger to the platform. His name is Mr. John Cruz. John Cruz in the building. I see you, Pastor Avery Johnson. How you doing, sir? Yeah, we're going to bring John on so we can have a more broader conversation about and be able to ask some questions in the beginning of this broadcast, because I think that this is very important information. And for someone that's first time hearing this, you probably like me. You're probably like, man, what is he talking about, right? Okay, so what I want to say to you, Kevin, is that this is very important information. So when you go over the platform on how the credit, the business credit and the cash flow, how those two things go together, because I'm no stranger to it now. I've been doing this for a minute now, and I know John is operating on a high level of business for quite some time, and you guys have really poured a lot into me and helped me build my foundation to make it stronger. And I want to give our audience an opportunity to really piece this together and truly understand it from layman's terms. And so when you've been in this industry so long, sometimes when you're talking about it, it just comes out fluently, and you think that everybody understands what you're saying, but I want to break it down just a little bit more and make it more simpler, and be able to have an opportunity to ask you a few questions from more than one perspective. And so you said, for what I understand, you said that a person can get their credit built up properly, then they can get access to capital. And what you want to do is show them how to create passive income. And the way your company does that is that you actually allow individuals to put $15,000 into your operation, and then you take that income and then you give them access to the company that you work with from a lending standpoint, and they give them access to $200,000 line of credit, to be able to, is it a line of credit or is it just a loan, or what is it? What is that 15,000 allow you to get access to? And then how does the return work based on that $15,000 going to $200,000 on a credit that allows you to trade on it to give them a return on that 200,000? How does that work? Because to me, it sounded too good to be true when I first heard it. But when you broke it down to me and explained it to me where I could truly understand it, I thought it'd be great to be able to discuss that in more detail. So if you will, please give us some understanding on that and break it down for us.
Thank you for that. And that's a great point. And you know, I was trying to get a lot in on it, just kind of give people some, wet people up with the fire hydrant and let them, kind of concepts in their head. But I agree with you. I want to break it down and make it simpler. So from the business credit standpoint, that's fairly self-explanatory. A lot of business owners may or may understand that they have a credit profile. They may not have done anything, and a lot of business owners actually are using their personal credit to run this, and maybe at least 25 able to expand their business due to a lack of funding. And so in my mind, alleviate that. What you want to do is leverage that, that credit profile or whatever resources that you have to put yourself in a position higher growth without putting yourself or your resources at risk, or as little as you can, right? And so when they join the business cash flow creation club, that $15,000 initiation fee obviously goes towards getting them plugged in, set up, and establishing a relationship with what's called a prop trading firm. So there are a lot of tertiary trading firms who have their own capital. They obviously fears. I've been, a funded trader for several tertiary trading firms, and basically all that. They have a set of criteria. Professional traders, once those blocks, if you will, they get access to live line of trading capital. And so for our client partner members of the cash flow creation club, they get access to a file account. And obviously because they're members of the family, we're working together. We're checking those blocks that the companies of us to allow us access to the live trading funds. But once we do satisfy that credit, it's like taking a TED exam, kind of like the bar exam or the series 7 financial advisor series, or series 6 for a person selling mutual funds or life insurance person. Once they establish that you know what you're doing, and that you understand what it is that you're doing, then they turn on the faucet and allow you to trade them. And so what that does is it fast tracks a lot of out because now where you may have had to put 100,000 or 200,000 of your own capital market to generate significant returns, sure, but to put take returns at all, you have to put a lot more skin in it. And so now what pros realize that a lot of people their skin, some may have no skin, and some may have very little skin, and they want really leverage the talent of people that can trade. Just about it, just to kind of stay on that point. Think about if being an athlete, so right. So if you need how many in football and basketball we probably know who are good neighborhoods and knows them in the neighborhood, but the NBA or the NFL doesn't know anything about them, right? And so it's that with a lot of prop firms and traders. A lot of traders have large capital to really make trading seem to be well. And so what firms do is they give good traders access to sources so that they can actually generate reasonable incomes for themselves. And so the prop firms, because they force you to go through their own testing methodology, they are that you can be successful in their program. So they're okay with taking 20% of a lot of people's efforts as opposed to taking of their own, right? So like the J. Paul Getty principle, 100 people's efforts, then 100% of my own. And the firms are based firms averaging that concept, trusted traders. And so with us being a trusted, we get our members access to their own $200,000 account. We help them and conservatively, and they split the profits with the company, and they keep the recurring cash flow that we're going. So that's pretty much how it works. Nutshell. And so you wonder why people they're actually there's risk profile because they're not relying on traders to generate those returns anymore. Now you've got 1,000 or 100,000 traders who are trading a small pie, and they're creating their returns in their own silos, if you will, but collectively they're generating a lot of money for the firm. So it's definitely it works for both sides. Understand people would maybe skeptical of that, because there's very few things that are called a free ride, but sometimes you have the proper what I call confluence of events to where you have the people with not only the access by way of relations we have with our relationship and with our relationship with our trading firm, with our member, really partners who advocate for us. We also have the power of experience and wherewithal. And so when you've got resources, you've got relationships, and you have the ability to actually produce something, ability to do something, that's kind of a trifecta that allows you to create a program like this and help everyone at the same time.
John Cruz, man, thank you for that, Kevin, man. We're gonna bring John Cruz back on board. Hopefully, we got a better sound over here. We having technical difficulties here with our sound. We're getting a little feedback. How you doing, John?
I'm doing excellent, man. How are you guys doing tonight?
Fantastic. Listen, man, I know you've been listening, man, and with a brilliant mind like yours, could you give us a little insight of what your understanding is about what Kevin is talking about right now? Like, have you ever worked with a company that does what he does, and how does it impact you? You haven't?
No, I haven't, nor have I ever heard of it. And so when Kevin explained it to me, it really grabbed my attention, because the thing that I heard that just jumped off the page was, I'm able to leverage someone else's money, and as Kevin is making trades and doing the magic that he does, I'm able to take a profitable benefit from that other person's money and use that to my advantage. And I had never heard of anything like that, and it's amazing to me.
I mean, what would life would have been like for us had we had known the opportunities that are out there like this, to give us an opportunity to be able to take our dollar here and be able to trade with other currencies in other countries, to be able to make a profit and to be able to pull down on it every month. And I'm telling you, the percentages are mind blowing to me. What would life be like? So if you out there right now, hey, listen, I'm telling you guys, this is something that I think that is really important for us to understand in our community about how money works. And we always talk about these things, and we want to learn how to become the banks. And I've been looking at a lot of things on social media about insurance policies, things you can do to create the bank for your family. I've always wanted to understand, and I've been studying and researching on how to become your own bank for quite some time. But this right here pretty much puts a nail in it for me, because it allows me to be able to not only benefit from the money that I make with my business, but also help myself position myself to be able to make a profit. And I think, and from what I understand, Kevin, you do this for individuals. We don't have to do it ourselves. And then not only that, while you are trading for individuals, you actually have a class where they're able to be educated on how to do it for themselves. So I think that's super important, that we get the information that we need, and just kind of understand that this is real. Like, this has been going on for how long? Like, so Kevin, can you give us a little history on how long this type of platform has been available to us over here in America?
Yeah, that's so. Well, for currency trading in general became available because the currency network it's not like the New York Stock Exchange, to where you a centralized market where people go and make trades and buys and asks and so on and so forth. It's actually a decentralized network. When the technology got it back in the mid to 90s, foreign currency as a variation of what we know it was called spot trading, which means you're making a trade, or you're making it on the spot. That came alive. So a little bit of history about the foreign currency. It's really part of commodities, because people would use, they would take contracts out on different commodities, like grain or something that people would be growing, try to bet on the future of it at some point in time. And so once that expiration date came or whatever, the exchange at an agreed upon rate, and a trade was established. And so when we talk about currency, the closest thing that a lot of people, you know, can relate to as it relates to trade, which is the exact same thing, but it's put it in a digital form, not but in a digital, in a computerized form, is when you go on vacation. Let's just, you know, we're in America, so let's say, you know, you go to Mexico, and before you go, you generally would exchange for pesos for pesos. And the reason you generally do that is because of the premise of supply. And so the demand for pesos is much less than the demand for pesos in Mexico. And so the exchange rate that you're going to get per dollar is going to be better to your advantage in America than it go to country to try to exchange your money. And so what happens when you come back from Mexico? Obviously for pesos goes down, and so you make another currency exchange to the US dollars, and that's literally a round turn. And so when we're trading in the currency, essentially doing the same thing at two currencies at the same time, and we're establishing which one size and value versus the other one in a stated amount of time. And you place a bet on that, or you place a position on that by buying the currency that you think they're going to appreciate in value. And then once it hits a level of appreciation, you can basically come home off your vacation, cash in the difference that when you started. And so it's really it's okay. You're muted. I can't.
The feedback on my end. Can everybody understand what Kevin is saying? I'm getting a little feedback on my end. Are we having a few? John, can you hear Kevin well on your end?
Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback from Kev as well. I don't know if there's a lapel mic, or I can understand what he's saying. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Kevin. I'm getting a feedback.
No problem. Hey, so yeah, so that's basically what, you know, the currency exchange is, you know, it's where you're exchanging one fiat currency for another, and the difference in those prices gives you an opportunity to profit. And so, you know, that's just kind of a high level, you know, explanation of is around for, you know, like you say, the better part of almost 50 years but for ultra high net individuals. So it wasn't something that everyday could really access up until recently, in the last you know 20 years or so. And so now excuse me, now everyday people can advantage of this, you know, $6 a day market, which is, you know, the stock market by comparison. And you can, you know, dip your step into that water and really create some significant income. And so we actually were members. We trade for the what's called DFY or W, so that they can actually passive recurring cash flow on the strength of our skill. And so, but also from an edge standpoint, member of the Cash Flow Creation Club is a member of the Forex Fam, which is our platform where we teach people how to trade markets. Because like you said, my biggest purpose behind what we do is to help people build passive cash flow. Also help people build set or an ability to generate it on their own. So the empowerment piece is meant for all of our students. Have to take the course right away, but they get access to the material, the very same knowledge that I use to create, you know, a profitable business. That's the clients all over the world. They get access to knowledge and the mentor to me and my support to actually help them become successful traders if they choose to. So I want to emphasize that, because I don't want people to think that it's, you know, it's just a training that we're conducting and not allowing people to learn to be trained engineers in their own right. So that's pretty much how it's up.
Do you have a slide to give us a good example of exactly what this looks like for the viewers who are just coming on, to kind of give a little small example on what you're talking about?
This is the kind of the cycle of how you started. So in the Cash Flow Business Creation Club, You receive your credit account. We build the cash flow for you. You withdraw at a period of time. They start building, and 90 days in, after our elimination period, our little wait period before we ask you to take withdrawal. Once we build up that cash flow, the cash flow is automatically showing in your you have a back actually is a digital write up of all of your profits. And depending on when you tie that back office to, you withdraw those funds on whatever basis you choose. So conduct weekly withdrawals when profits are, you can conduct monthly withdrawals, or you can actually allow your funds to just continue down and point in the future where you can actually possibly take a much larger amount, because you allow that principal to stay in there. And so we run our cohorts basically in 12-month periods, 12-month intervals. And some become a member. We're cash flow for you for 12. And at the 13th month, if you still decide to be a member, your membership, and we're going to cash flow for you.
So what is the downside to this, Kevin? Is there anything that we can be aware of that's really a downside to what it is that we're presenting this evening about this type of information? Like, it has to be a side of it that needs to be explained for people to understand that there's no guarantees, of course, but then there is a safe way to participate based on your experiences. So could you tell us a little bit about that?
So and I appreciate that. So yeah, well, the side is first and foremost, you're not going to get profits, right? So if you're wanting someone to fund an account, you have to share in the spoils with them, by agreement, and I think that's fair. Most people wouldn't balk at that. But the second, it's not a situation where you're because you want to be clear. You use the fact that you're actually having these credit profile established or strengthened, fortified, that you have to actually pass a credit check to actually get access to the funds. Access to the funds is a byproduct of us signing the requirements that the firm has to satisfy from that point. And so get access to those funds, you get the ability to draw, not the funds out, but the profits out as you don't hire. So the only thing that could really hinder would be if we on our side, company FM Trades, we violate a risk management rule that was what's called a hard. So they have soft rules, and then they have hard rules. And so the hard rules are really kind of like the not really agreed, but they say okay, if this something was something continue to do over a period of time, it would basically wipe out your banking account faster. And so when you rule, they just shut off the account and make you start over. So let's take an example. If you had up there, I want to talk about the example that showed. I can bring a couple of ideas. I can show how the power of leverage as capital work on your behalf in a real period of time. But then I also want to show you what happened. What could happen on the downside if we think we're supposed to do. Okay, so here is one approach that a person could take to actually leverage the Cash Flow Creation Club and build for themselves to the tune of 5 or 6 figures a year. Being that these are hypothetical, they're not guaranteed like that. But what I did was I wanted to take the $200,000 starting principal balance and at the beginning of the month, say that we generated 3% on that account, and it 4x because of the power of leverage, which means that one actually does the work of many. Really, it doesn't take very much to agree 4% return on a monthly basis. So we're going to say 3.75% return, and then you're sending out 7,500 gross. And so remember, the company takes their and you 80% of that gain, and so you're $6,000. And so at that point, if you're compounding it and not taking that 6,000 rolls over to the next to the principal balance, and now the next month when we're growing, say by the same 3.75%. we're doing larger amount. So over time we build the account. We've grown the account, and so you see right here month 11 kind of speaks to it. But I'll say every so often, every time we hit the 10% growth milestone, when the $200,000 account grows to $220,000, ability to request an upgrade value, and double the account value for you. Where now the $200 account plus the profits that were in there becomes the $400,000 account, including the profits. So it would be 400,000 plus what you had in there. And so because that scales up, it allows us to hit the 10% mark sooner and be able to scale your account value all the way up to $2.5 million. And so right here is showing as with the same 3.757% return on capital and the same 80% split of profits. Out in month 11, your account value is over $2.7 million. We're trading that same 3.75%. So you've going from a $6,000 income in month 1 or 2 to about a $50,000 or $60,000 income, 10 or 11, up to about $81,000 income in month 12, scaled up to 2.5. And so that's how you accumulate well quickly by leveraging a larger resource that doesn't put you at peril if it fails. And so on that last, to speak about the downside, because I did that. Let's say we get up to the 2.7 million and I violate a hard rule. Even we get to 1,000 and I violate a hard rule, and they say, okay, you stop trading, violate the rule. You have to reset the account and apply to trade live money again. So I've got to go back and 10% on the account, and then they'll let me sing again. So side is we could reset button, and then that obviously lengthens our time to build income. But I want you to also always be mindful that at the lowest level, you're still talking about 4 figures a month. We're creating, and so the downside is account value can change if we don't do our part. Aside from that, there's really not much danger because the client's money capital is in the market.
I want to give you an opportunity. I want to ask you a quick question, John, in reference to what Kevin just said. John, what is it, as being the businessman that you are, the guy that I always call when I ask, hey man, what do you think about this? What is about this opportunity that gives you insight to say, okay, I would look into this. Since I've been looking into this, have you looked into it? What are your thoughts about what you've learned from Kevin since we've been discussing this particular venture? What is the thing that a business owner should be looking at, and what are your thoughts concerning? Is it something that piques your interest, not just from a financial standpoint, but from a perspective of being safe to protect your business and your income?
Well, basic risk reward. I mean, when I look at the outlay of risk, yeah, there is a risk involved with my account is at the top level, so the $15,000 that was put out there. But then when I listen to Kevin, I look at his track record, I look at his background. I have a belief that he is going to be able to accomplish the things that he says conservatively. And then when I look at the fact that the only risk that I have at play here is $15,000, and to have an account that we're trading on my behalf in my company name at $200,000, the reward is so much greater than the risk in terms of if he's conservatively able to hit the numbers that he's hitting, then the $15,000 will be earned back, in no time at all. And then I'll look at all the upside. So, that was the process that I put it through. It was a small amount of risk, in my opinion, for an incredible sized reward, and it encouraged me to go ahead and move forward.
All right, thank you, sir. And what we're gonna do right now is to give our audience an opportunity. Hey, if you got a question right now, please feel free to chime in and type in your questions so we can answer your questions at this time. Any questions out there? And there's no dumb questions. Hey, Dunto from Memphis, Tennessee, how you doing, sir? Any questions out there? Because I know I had a lot of questions when I first heard about this opportunity. And I'm telling you guys, it's been a blessing to be able to learn as much as I have in such a short period of time. So if you have any questions, please let us know. What is the website, Kevin?
actually the last slide is the link. So if you can pass slide on that presentation, the link to the cash flow business credit and cash flow creation club. So yeah, go there, that link // biz credit flow, and it's kind of the steps to get steps in how the program works.
Any more questions? How did you get started?
Okay, so the Bitly biz cash flow link that you just saw. You click on the scroll down, and there'll be three memberships. You can actually start your membership with the $10 initiation fee, which allows you at 50,000 trading account. You can go with the intermediate, the 12.5 initiation fee gets you access to a $100,000 trading account. $10,000. The initiation fee gets you access to a $200,000 being traded on your behalf. And so you select what you want to put. Go in there, iteration, and then support team. They'll contact you with what you need to.
So if I was to go in and sign up and put money in, how long before I'm able to be able to receive funds on my account and draw down on that account to receive profits?
Great question. So once we pass the evaluation, which nobody can get, there's no time limit on that. He doesn't put a time limit, which is one of the main reason that we work with them. But let's say it takes 30 days, let's just say 45 days to the 10% threshold that they ask us to accomplish. Once we do that, it's turned live, quote unquote. Now all that we start generating from that point are the keep. And so what we do, just from a safety standpoint, and really kind of a point of agreement, understanding is instituted a 90 what's called a eliminate. So that gives them days to satisfy the trading requirements on the front end, but then also gives us a small window of time to actually build up some cash flow for our members before they withdraw. So on the first day after joining the program, the withdrawals are available for weekly. But I want to also emphasize, once we actually go live, and if there are any profits before day 90, before day 91, be clear. There's no legal obligation to keep you, ask you not to do. It's just a matter of, we want you to have the understanding. This is not a relatively fast process. It's not a get rich quick type situation. So you have the wherewithal to wait the 90. You put yourself in a better position to see the fruit ram and trying to as soon as you see a profit.
What is the average rate of return?
The average rate of return, I would say about 4%. Gross is what we're looking at. We're shooting for 8% a month, but 4 would be a safe rate of return.
So this is based off of the experience that you've already done over the last years, right?
Correct. So our flat program, where we actually have capital in the markets, in those assets, on average about 65 to 6% cash on year over year. And, so that program actually is slated to double cash flow. So it's really looking for a higher return. Probably this program is. So we're at that to get about 70%. And they're looking for 3.3 and a three quarter. And the reason first of all, we want to respect the risk profile people who are fun people who are. So we're able to create those 70-80% or on basis, which is still reasonable. Just efforts of making the ability and building the longevity of this program for our members. We decided this can half so that we could 40 to 50% a year on this side and still help people out.
Okay. We have any more questions? John, you got any questions?
No, I don't have any, man. I mean, Kevin is, one of the things I like about him is he's very thorough.
Can you invest less than $15,000? Yes, you can invest $10,000, and you get access to a $50,000 account and you can actually invest $12,500 and get access to a $100,000 account. The $200,000 account is $15K. Any more questions? So, hey, man, I think you did a phenomenal job, Kevin. Thank you so much, man. We're super excited. Hey, guys, y'all heard it here on the DLA Experience Virtual Show. John Cruz, thank you so much for always being there for me, brother. And, man, I'm just super excited about the opportunity, man. Thank y'all so much for coming on board and sharing in this broadcast tonight. And, hey, guys, if you're out there, if you have any questions, please go to dearlyexperience.com, or you can hit us up at info@dearlyexperience.com, or you can call us at 1-888-276-7696. Man, listen, we're excited. There's so much that we can do together as a community, but there's so much information out here. And so guess what? We're not just here to help you and do it for you, but we're also here to help, educate you guys so you can learn how to do it for yourself. Man, I just think it's an amazing thing to be able to just take an advantage of some of the great things that are out here in our society right now and be able to get it from a global standpoint. Man, I'm just really excited about the information. I hope you guys are too. I hope you learned something tonight to take you a little step further and closer to your financial goals, and also creating yourself in a position where you can live a more balanced and beautiful life, man. That's what it's all about. We're here to give you information to level you up, to get you to that next level. And man, look, do your research. Hey, man, Google is great. And guess what? You can also make the phone call and you can get a free consultation with me, yours truly, D. Early. Just, hey, go on dearlyexperience.com and book your appointment so we can have a free consultation. And, man, we're looking forward to next week. We'll be at the same place, the same time at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the DL Experience Virtual Show. Hey, guys, I'm going to sign out. Thank y'all so much. We love you guys. You have a phenomenal week. Till next time. Peace.